I'm back, everybody, today to do a video about Alabama football again. Specifically about something that you might want to keep your mind on for this upcoming season. All the talk in the media and all the blogs and vlogs everywhere is going to be about the quarterback situation. Don't worry about that. I already made a video telling you why Jalen Hurts will be the starting quarterback, so don't even think about it. Don't even worry about the offense. If you want to think about something on the offense, think about the right tackle position. That's it. Other than that, we need to talk about the defense, which is the biggest question mark of the team for this upcoming year. Last year, I was thinking we might be a bit of a question mark on defense, but turns out that was unfounded. The depth kind of picked up a little bit, even though we still didn't have as much depth last year as we had the previous year. But they still had enough, and they went through the season and they got it done and played great at one of the better defenses of the Nick Saban era. Now, this year, there's going to be a problem, mainly because on the defensive line, there is no depth so far. We have bodies. There's a lot of players, a lot of good recruits, but a lot of these guys haven't played. So for sure, returning on the defensive line, we have Deshaun Hand, who was a rotational guy last year. Joshua Frazier, number 69, who was a rotational guy last year. And his name's blanking on me. Oh, I can't. The best defensive lineman returning, who's going to be probably one of the top draft picks if he comes out this next year. Daron Payne, our nose tackle, who is an absolute monster. If you saw like some of the numbers he's been putting up squatting, bench pressing, and deadlifts for the spring testing, it's absolutely amazing what he can do with the strength and the amazing power that this young man has. And he's running close to a 5 flat 40 at 320 pounds or something like that. This guy is big, strong, can move. Daron Payne will be the best defensive lineman. But beyond those guys, a bunch of unproven talent. A lot of guys who haven't played a lot yet. Some redshirt sophomores, some redshirt freshmen, some juniors, some true sophomores, maybe some true freshmen coming in. Probably won't get as much playing time. Some JUCO transfers. Some of the names you may have heard. Raekwon Davis came in last year as a true freshman. He started to play toward the end of the stretch of the season. 6'7", almost 300 pounds. Athletic freak is that's the term that we all always use now for everybody. He played a little bit, so they're gonna see if they can get him moved into the rotation a little bit more. And then you got Quentin Williams, who I think he redshirted last year, so he's a redshirt freshman this upcoming year out of Winona. Pretty big guy as well. I think he's 6'6". We got some huge guys, but they haven't played unproven. Johnny Dwight, who's been with the team the past 2 or 3 years, I think he's a redshirt sophomore. Hasn't played a bunch. I think he's number 95 this year, switched from number 36. O.J. Smith, who's been with the team for a while, he may be a redshirt junior, redshirt sophomore. I haven't kept up with his classification, but he's been there for a minute. And Jamar King, who came in as a JUCO transfer last year, who played rotationally but hardly touched the field really. So, and then we added Isaiah Buggs, another JUCO transfer for this recruiting class. So he's going to come in and see if he can get some time in. But the thing is, all of those guys behind the first 3 names that I named, those first 3 names being Deshaun Hand, Joshua Frazier, and Daron Payne, all the rest of those guys, they're unproven, haven't played much, haven't shown they can be have sustained success on the field. And so that's going to be really interesting to see how they develop. Watching this spring game, seeing what the coaches say about the guys behind the starters. Also, we lost our best outside linebackers on both sides, the jack and the other position, especially in the 3-4 defense, and even the nickel when we drop a linebacker down to rush, like Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson. We lost both of those guys from last year. So the guys who most likely will step up to be starters, these 2 played the most last year, were Anthony Jennings, who was number 33, and Christian Miller, who was number 47. Christian Miller runs a 4.62 and a 40 as a linebacker, athletic guy. These guys have the talent, have the upside. They didn't play as much, but when they got in, they did their job. Who knows if they can make as big of an impact as Tim Williams and Ryan Anderson? That remains to be seen because they didn't play as much. Not only that, but we don't have a lot of I guess the guys behind him played a little bit. Because if you watch throughout the season, Terrell Hall, I believe he's number 24, or they may be Mickey Brown. But I know Terrell Hall played too. So Terrell Hall was a true freshman last year. He got in and played a little bit of outside linebacker. And Mickey Brown, who also was a freshman last year, got in and played a little bit. So these guys got a few reps. So the outside linebacker position, we're a little bit more sustained in terms of depth than the defensive line position. Even though the defensive line position has a whole bunch of bodies, the outside linebackers also too have Jamie Mosley, number 16, who also played a bit, get a lot of reps last year. As the games were on, third and fourth quarter, they came in, different pass rushes coming in, and then we added the superstar freshman who a lot of people have high hopes for this year. It's Dylan Moses. You probably heard of him, one of the top recruits of this past 2017 recruiting class. So we have bodies for our pass rush, for the defensive line, for the outside linebackers. Inside linebacker, we're good. Secondary, we're good. But the defensive line and outside linebacker, we have to find out who can play, who can be consistent, who's dedicating themselves to the process, who's able to learn the playbook and be a contributor to the team. Who knows if these guys will be as dynamic as, when you think about this front seven from last year, think about it. We had Deron Payne on the line. You had Ryan Anderson rushing. You had Tim Williams rushing. It was quite the force that they had just coming in, and not to mention Jonathan Allen and Dalvin Tomlinson flanking the other side. You just had a lot of talented bodies in there, guys who can stuff the run and provide pass rush, and that's a lot of guys to lose. That's a lot of talent to lose, and there's no guarantee that the guys behind them will be able to produce at the same level or better than those guys. But it is Nick Saban. Nick Saban coach defense always get the best out of their players and do what they can to make sure that the guys doing what they have to do to be successful. So I'm not worried about it. It's just that if you're going to think about anything this offseason, don't think about the offense and the quarterback. Think about the defensive line and the outside linebackers. Thanks for paying attention. See you guys for the next video. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you're looking forward to see will be successful this year. Who do you think will break out? Who do you think will be the best pass rusher, best run defender, and whatnot? Leave it in the comments. Thanks for paying attention, guys.